I am dumb. That is what I have told myself my whole life. My whole life, I've just felt like I am just not the sharpest tool in the shed. It started when I was younger. I had parents that neglected me, and I didn't really get an education until I was put into foster care. And then eventually I moved in with my half brother, his dad, and his stepmom. We have the same mom but different dads. So I moved in with them, and then they put me into a regular elementary school. And when I got there, my language skills were so poor that they put me in something called ELL, English Language Learners. So I was put into this class with all of these kids who were from foreign countries who English wasn't their first language, and I pretty much had to learn English from scratch as a second grader. Also was one of those people who couldn't say my R. You know, the ones that they make fun of, the ones that, I'm not even kidding, this is how I would talk. Wooey, a wed wabbit? Yeah, I didn't know that you had to like put your tongue up when you would say your R. So throughout elementary school, I had to be in speech class. So that always kind of made me feel dumb. I'm also incredibly dyslexic. My brain just flips things around when I do math, when I read books. Reading and that sort of stuff was always really challenging for me. So because of that, I always just felt like I was really dumb. I always had to study a lot harder than everyone else. Things just didn't really click in my brain very easily. So I had to find ways to help myself. And some of the ways that I helped myself were breaking things down piece by piece by piece by piece. What do I mean by this? For example, when I had a test in college, we would get a textbook, right? I could listen to a teacher talk in class, but I'm really not going to digest much of that. And I can try to take notes, and I'll listen to them and I'll take notes. And like, I tried. For some reason, my brain just like cannot compute. I sucked, right? And keep in mind, I did very well in school. What I did to help myself was I had to break things up into small pieces. I would take the textbook. I was best at taking a textbook to learn. I know, kind of weird, right? But I would take the textbook and I would look at every single key word there was, you know, the words that they highlight and then they give you a definition for them, and I would put them on a note card and I would remember every single key word and the definition to the keyword. And if I just knew what all of the important words meant, it was enough to pass the test pretty much 100% of the time. So I just always remembered breaking things down into small parts and then just slowly stacking that information. And then that is how I did well in school, is I would always break things down into smaller parts, because when I would make everything big and look at the full picture, it would just overwhelm me and it was too challenging for me personally. And recently, I've been taking that same tactic into doing other things in my daily life. Typically, when I would clean my house, I would have to do it all in one big swoop. I would have to do it all in one big swoop. I would have to clean everything all in one day. That's just unrealistic. And when you do things in that way, it can become really overwhelming and it can be really challenging. And I started to pick up guitar again and just trying to learn a song right off the bat. I was like, yo, this is hard. I can't do this. I need to take a step back. So what did I do when trying to learn guitar? I learned every single note. At first, I learned each of the strings. What is each string's letter, right? What are the letters of the strings? And then I just learned to play each string individually. I learned how to move my fingers on each fret, just slowly learning how to move my fingers between each fret, how to make sure I hit each string at a time. I learned how to properly hold the guitar pick, how to properly hold down the guitar strings, and I just break things down into small pieces, and then slowly they gradually build upon each other, and I know how to do something that I didn't know how to do before. I might not be a quick learner, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn. And I encourage you, if you are the type of person who is like, I can't do it, it's too hard, try to break it down into small pieces. It's the same way I lost weight. As a fat, lazy person, I could go into that, if you're ever interested, of how I lost weight as someone who is fat and lazy. I'm not skinny, but I lost 100 pounds. That's neither here nor there. But I find it is helpful to just everything you do in life. Just tiny little baby steps. Just little things, little things, little things. Not all of us can be geniuses. That's okay. That's okay. But it doesn't mean you can't learn new things. Okay?